fear becoming a second-class citizen.
I fear being attacked for my faith.
I fear for my child's future.
I fear being in debt all my life.
I fear losing my job and my health care.
I fear science and facts will have no place here.
I dream of respect for all.
I dream of combating COVID-19 and climate change.
I dream of restoring America's promise.
I dream the American dream.
Vote for the country of our dreams. Vote Ossoff and Warnock. TSP Victory is responsible for the contents of this ad.
Exchange? 8,000 రూపాయల బ్యాలెన్స్ మ్యామ్.
ఇవ్వనక్కర్లేదమ్మా. 8,000 మీకే వస్తాయి.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్. మేము కేవలం హాల్మార్క్ 916 గోల్డ్నే అమ్ముతాం. ఇంకా మీకు దొరికింది 100% ఎక్స్చేంజ్ వాల్యూ.
క్వాలిటీ. ఇది మలబార్ ప్రామిస్.
ఇది మా హీరో అల్లుడు కోసం ఫిట్ గా ఉంటుంది.
పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా ఫిట్ అవుతుంది. ఇది మైండ్ డైమండ్. 100% క్వాలిటీ.
సార్, ప్రతి మైండ్ డైమండ్ న్యాచురల్. ఇంకా మేము 28 క్వాలిటీ టెస్ట్లు చేస్తాం.
28 టెస్ట్లా?
ప్రతి డైమండ్ జ్యువెలరీతో పాటు ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ల్యాబ్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కూడా.
కళ్ళు మూసుకుని మీ హీరో కోసం వజ్రాలను తీసుకోండి. ఇది మలబార్ ప్రామిస్.
Where have you been?
I went to vote.
Why bother? One vote doesn't make any difference.
Of course it does. Desi vote just turned Georgia blue.
Yeah, but I don't do politics.
But politics is being done to you. Make your voice heard against openly racist and corrupt people. It's about our children and grandchildren.
You're right. May I ask, who did you vote for?
Democrats, Ossoff and Warnock, of course.
Grandma knows best. TSP Victory is responsible for the contents of this ad.
I fear becoming a second-class citizen.
I fear being attacked for my faith.
I fear for my child's future.
I fear being in debt all my life.
I fear losing my job and my health care.
I fear science and facts will have no place here.
TVASIA Telugu ప్రేక్షకులందరికీ hello and welcome back to our talk show with the experts. First of all, happy new year to all of you. Idoka, it's like a new day, new dawn and matamanaki, and it's so exciting to be back on the show with our expert Rahul Garu. Rahul Garu, welcome back. We're looking forward to another fantastic year with so much more information flow happening. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much for inviting.
Today is another special event because we are also celebrating our first anniversary at TVASIA Telugu 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗛. So we can't believe that it's been a year already, and we look forward to many more such years of having our viewers and our experts. So let's begin this show with the Dhamaka 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗛. So last year was this, it was like death looming all over, and the pandemic craze and stuff. So in terms of immigration, it was a bumpy year, also with COVID, with Trump's executive orders, priority date movements. So yeah, Rahul Garu, what lies ahead in 2021 for us? Is it a hopeful year? What are you expecting is going to happen?
One thing, Nitya Garu, I have to refer back to the Mahabharata.
Okay.
In there, Duryodhana was beaten by Bhim, and he was on almost like a deathbed. So, the Pandavas asked Krishna, hey man, this guy looks to be very weak and he doesn't have the kingdom, he's very weak. So Krishna says that this guy can be as vicious as possible, even at his last stage. And he can stage a very big problem. He can still cause, his capability of causing problems is the same as when at the time we started the war. That's when afterwards through the help of Ashwadama, Duryodhana tried to kill all Pandavas. It happened that he kills all the kids, child of the Pandavas though. Right. So even though Trump is booted out, we no longer want him. The citizens of United States voted him out. He is trying to do as much damage as possible. And he's still capable of doing some more damage to the immigrants. He does not like immigrants. We know that. He considers that the immigrants are undesirable people. In the waning hours of December 31st, he extended the restrictions on the people coming from India and H-1B. Okay. For the next 6 months, we thought that, okay, it will end on December 31st and people can start getting the visas and coming back on January 1st. Now he extended all the way to June 30th. Wow. He also extended the any family preference categories that were supposed to come in the next 6 months. He banned them. Any employment-based green card applications that were doing consular processing also, he continued the ban that he had from until December of 2020. He extended all the way to June 30th of 2021. Okay. We all know that election, he lost the power. On January 20th, we are expecting the Joe Biden administration, but he extended the executive order. That's one step. There are still more dangers yet to come. We don't know if they're going to come or not, but we need to be prepared for it. There is a regulations that were already published on F1 student visas. Okay. Under the current condition, the student visa people, if they come into United States, they join a university, and after they graduate the university, they apply for an EAD. Right. They do not apply anything called 539, I-539, which normally people do it when they're changing from H4 to F1. They do file an I-539. Also, when they're changing from F1 to H1, F1 to H4, they do file the I-539. And the backlog for the I-539 in California services particularly is approximately 22 months. So now when the students are moving from their university to F1 to the OPT, right. According to the new regulations, they may have to apply for an I-539 along with the EAD application, which may take 20 months for them to come in. Right. They may have to go through the biometrics. That's one more damage that he can do. And also the people who are applying STEM extension, that means that after 12 months of OPT, if they're eligible for, they can apply for the 24-month STEM extension. The same step can be put in there too. These regulations are already, proposed regulations were published, the comment period are over. So before this administration dies down, they can still insert this one and put a restriction on the immigrants. Okay. Also from a university, if somebody wants to change the university from A to B, they still may have to go through the I-539 according to the new regulations. This guy may bring in the waning days of his power, he may still do it. So we need to be watchful on that. The other regulations that were published, proposed regulations that were published that he can make it final is, until now, the lottery system was held master's quota and bachelor's quota. Now what they are telling is that it's not going to be just based on the master's quota and bachelor's quota. It's going to be based on the level of salary the person is making. So there are 4 levels of salary. Level 4, which is highest, level 3, level 2, and level 1. It doesn't matter whether you belong to level 1 or level 2, you are subject, you can get the lottery. So the new regulations which were published, the comment period is already over. The proposed regulations will be separate, sorry. So if they become final though, there will be a lot of change in the landscape of how the H-1Bs will be issued, especially for the student visa people who want to convert from F1 to H1, they may have a very tough time in getting the H-1B visa. This administration can still do that damage before they go. So everybody need to be watchful, need to contact the congressman, and need to understand what's going on, and keep coming and watching our show so that we will inform what are expected, what is going on, what happened. We'll explain them in the next, as we go on every week on Sunday.
Okay. Okay, good to know, Rahul Garu. It looks like, we still have a lot of challenging times ahead, but as always, we shall fight through and persevere. So on that note, let's start this New Year show. I know there's a lot of callers waiting to talk to you, and so let's get started with them as well.
Sure.
Okay, let's go with our first caller. Hello. So area code 402. Hello. So *6 to unmute your line, please.
Maybe we should go to the YouTube questions.
Let's go to the YouTube questions. So we have a question from *𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗛. He says, if a kid is married to an EAD application, what is the downside if he ages out and I'm assuming it's the EAD, was not current? Can he not apply for an H1? And he also wants to see if you can talk a little more on the kid's age out situation and your suggest of not marrying into the EAD.
Yeah, what he meant was that it's not EAD, is final action date not being current.
Okay, sorry.
Final action date is not being current.
Okay.
So if the kid marries to the adjustment of status and if the final action date becomes current, final action date is not current, the kid will not be able to change the status while in United States after he turns 21. Before he turns 21, he cannot change to F1 visa. He has to go outside the country to get the F1 stamping. He may have a difficulty in getting the F1 stamping. The reason is that for F1 stamping, he must have a non-immigrant intent. He already expressed by filing an adjustment of status that he wants to immigrate into the United States. Plus, he got used the EAD application. So it's a very clear indication that he wants to stay in the United States. His F1 visa in the consulate is a very tough thing. I would strongly recommend Vinod not to have his kid married to the adjustment of status. And of course, he got the word from TVASIA Telugu channel that what a marriage means, which he understood it very clearly. What I recommend is maybe he should consult a lawyer before he does anything. If he doesn't want to get married to this application, then he's fine. If he's considering married to the adjustment of status, he better check with a lawyer. What are the pros and cons as I described? The kid will not be able to move to a student visa. Another issue with Vinod is that even if the kid doesn't get married though, even if the main applicant, which is a parent, if the main applicant gets married to the adjustment of status, the kid is considered to be married because he's no longer on H4. If the kid is on H4, the kid is also considered to be married. So those are the dangers for Vinod that he need to be watchful about.
Makes sense. All right. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's see if we have our caller on, sir. Area code 402. Please press *6 to unmute. మన viewers అందరికి there's an update అండి. Let's take our next caller, but our new updated number is 833 TV80 USA or 833-882-8872. Please call us with your questions. All right, let's go on to the next caller. So area code 602. Please press *6 to unmute your phone. So we'll just take the next question in the meantime, Rahul Garu. This is from Murli D on YouTube. He says, sir, please explain how is the I-140 application pending time calculated for CSPA? Is it from the receipt date to approval date or the date they received the application? As per one of the previous calls, you suggested that I do not upgrade to premium as the I-140 pending time will be deducted from my kid's age. Should I upgrade if FAT becomes current in any time of the future?
It is not on the day the receipt is issued. It is on the day the I-140 was been received by the immigration. Okay. What Murli is, what a lot of people need to know is that what Murli is indicated is that when we file an application though, the USCIS is taking approximately 3 months nowadays to issue a receipt notice. So his question is, will the 3 months be counted in there? That's mostly. So it is on the day your application has been received, not on the day the immigration issued the receipt notice. Murli, you can always look into the receipt notice. There is a receipt date, received date. There is a notice date. Notice date on the day the notice has been issued. It is the receipt date that starts. So on the day it's been received is when the CSPA calculation occurs, not on the day receipt notice has been issued. Murli has been right. He's been following our TVASIA. That's good. He got the point that he should not do premium processing for his I-140 because of the child age. Right. He got it very good. That's good. I'm proud of TVASIA having to reach this kind of information to the people and get used to people. And he asked a question, Murli asked, if the final action date becomes current, should he do premium processing? Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely yes. Okay. He should do, because now the kid's age is frozen. So he's fine. He doesn't have to worry about it. He should do premium processing. Okay, that is at the time that it becomes current. Final action date becomes current. Right. That is right. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Rahul Garu. Let's try and go to our next caller. Hello, sir. Area code 602. Me line unmute cheskuntara. Please *6 to unmute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
So I have filed my downgrade application in the month of October. Last week, my attorney, I did not receive the receipt notice yet, but last week my attorney did, I don't know why they did, but they did audit of a scanned copy of my application, and they found that one of the I-140 paper is missing. So instead of taking the risk of either rejection or RFC, they filed entire application as a new on December 30th. So now I have two applications. So I'm looking for second opinion. Like, do I need to file Freedom of Information Act to pull my first I-140 to make sure?
When did you file the first I-140 application? What's the date the immigration received it?
October 29th.
Since your lawyer has already taken the precautionary method of filing a second I-140 and adjustment of status along with the entire application, I'm not worried that much for you right now because it's already there. It's already in there, right? He filed it again.
Yes.
If the first application gets accepted, you are good. If this first application does not get accepted, you're good too, because he took the corrective action of filing one more I-140 application. So you're good in both ways. So I'm not worried for you. Even if you file a freedom of information, you're not going to get that thing though, because there is no receipt notice issued for the first application. So they will take a long time to issue a freedom of information. You may not be getting the accurate information from the USCIS. So if I were you, I will not do anything right now.
But I have two applications, right? What will that be okay?
Let's wait until which one will get accepted. If the first one will get accepted, you're good. If the first one doesn't get accepted, you already have the secondary one. If both get accepted, at that point of time, you guys can decide which one to withdraw, if ever you want to withdraw.
Yeah, I'm thinking like once I get the receipt for past I-140, can I do premium processing and let's say it get approved, then I can safely withdraw second one. But if the first one gets denied,
yeah, you're good. I mean, I like your plan. I like your plan.
Okay.
If you get receipt notice to do the premium processing, if it gets approved, you don't have to worry about it. If a particular page or anything is missing though, normally it's only the receipt notice that is a problem, not the approval though. Normally.
Okay. Okay, sure. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for calling, sir. All right. Let's go to our next caller. Rahul. Hello. The area code 408.
While we're waiting, I want to go to the question.
Let's just go to the
next question. Yeah.
This is from Raj.
Normally,
hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So, hey, Rahul and Nitya, thanks for helping community. I have a couple of questions. One question is that, like, if you see recently visa bulletin, like for EB2 and EB3 category, they are moving very slow. So, like, my question is that, Rahul, do you think like they may lose the visa number toward the end of the year because they are not processing at the pace. So what is your thought on that?
I agree with you on, I agree with you on that. Unfortunately, if the employment-based immigration are not used, okay, they cannot be transferred to the next year. And they are moving very slow, and they are not adjudicating the cases. And if we lose them. Our office, Reddy Neumann P.C, is contemplating on filing a lawsuit on this one. We may ask your support also financially to contribute to this lawsuit, though, because if we don't sue them, they won't act. And what they're doing is intentionally delaying so that we don't use up the number of green cards that are there. That is their purpose. We know Stephen Wheeler. He hates us. He thinks we are the undesirable people. So they are doing it intentionally. Our office, Reddy Neumann P.C, is contemplating and filing a lawsuit against USCIS in adjudicating these applications faster. Our office already filed lawsuits with regards to why the biometrics are needed for the H4 so that the delay doesn't occur. We're expecting the results pretty soon on that. But we're contemplating suing USCIS on this matter too. Other than that,
on TVASIA or any other channel, sorry to interrupt you. So on TVASIA or on other channels where you do the YouTube or Facebook broadcast, are you going to publish those things so people can financially support you on?
Right. I will put a link out there when probably by next week, if we are contemplating it, I'll put a link out there to contribute, GoFundMe or something like that. I'm going to put the link at the down there and then you can use it. Yeah, we're going to use it at Reddy Neumann P.C YouTube also, but you can watch TVASIA. I'll put a link. It's not from TVASIA, but it'll be open there, link for you if you guys want to follow up on that.
Yeah, thanks for. I have a second question that is related to me. So I filed my AOS in month of November 2nd. So once I get the EAD, can I work for my own startup?
When you say within 6 months or after 6 months?
No, once I get the EAD means mostly it will be after 6 months or a year down the line.
Are you going to leave the current job and join the new job? Or are you going to continue with the job and moonlight for yourself?
No, I'm going to start my own startup and I will be working for that my own startup only. So is it possible on EAD or it is not possible on EAD?
It is possible on EAD. However, though, the new business, we recommend to file we recommend the new business to file a 485J supplement before you embark on this new journey.
Okay, yeah, that is needed for any of the job. So, but in that case, like a job title and all other things will be...
They should be relevant. They should be relevant job titles. If it's changed,
that will be a software company and this is also software company. So that will be...
If the job duties are relevant though, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, then you should be fine. We had some discussions with the USCIS. We have represented, there was some opposition that came to the USCIS. We went to the interview and we explained to the officer saying that there is no requirement of the labor certification here. So there is no partiality, any feeling, and we have been successful. In 3 of the times we represent in front of the USCIS. We didn't have any failure. So it can be done. It is not that tough to get it done. Okay?
Okay. Okay, thanks, Mr. Rahul. I would really appreciate if you can put the link when you have readiness. That will be really helpful for all employment category person because I strongly feel they will lose lot of numbers.
This idea came through another YouTube channel that YouTube presentation we had at our office. My colleague was questioned about this one. And that's when we got the idea. I mean, we need to sue these guys. Otherwise, we may lose 140,000 green cards or 150,000 green cards. So we should try to, and we can't wait until September to see what's going to happen. We need to take corrective action right now itself. I thank you for your
thanks.
idea.
I would be waiting for your link. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for calling in. Rahul, I have to applaud you and your firm for being the proactive pioneers on this one. Getting ahead of the curve and to get this process started, because yes, they can always say that, hey, this is all we could process this year, and not give people the required green cards. But let's go on to our next caller. Hello, sir. Area code 918.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Please press *6 to unmute your line. We were able to hear you.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Can you
Yes,
hear
sir.
me now?
Go ahead.
Yes, I can.
Yes. Sir, a couple of quick questions from the previous caller. I filed downgrade from EB2 to EB3 in October. And so main question is, other than the ability to pay, what are the risks for the 140 approval? I mean, is there anything else that really matters at the 140 approval level?
I mean, there could be 100 different things though. But I would say that if you covered the ability to pay, now without looking into petition though, without looking into the petition and all the details, you have 99% of success rate.
Okay.
Now, if I look into dissect all the things, I can give you more detail. But without looking into it, if the ability to pay is covered, you have 99% chance of getting your I-140 approved.
Okay. One follow-up to that is, do you have, did you already file 140's premium processing after people received receipts recently after this October-November thing? How is the trend line? I mean, I'm contemplating to do it. So is it like wait till the Biden administration?
No, we started doing it. I don't see any reason in waiting until the Biden administration. Don't expect miracles to come from the new administration. Then the thing that what we relied completely in the past 3-4 years was the court system, because we know Trump administration. We treat everything we were going to court. I mean, if you denied, we're going to go to court. Our law firm in particularly has filed in each year, we represented thousands of them in front of the court. Actually, we made more money in the court system rather than filing an application though, because of what happening. So that threat is there on them right now. These lawyers are going to courts right now. So as I said, if your ability to pay is covered, you're in a good shape. If I were you, I would not wait for Biden administration to come in.
Okay. And last question is, do you have any idea how many people are waiting in the backlog, and how many people have downgraded or downgraded recently? No number?
No, we don't have any idea. USCIS stopped publishing the 485 inventory from 2017 onwards. Since this administration came in, they stopped. Hopefully so, the new administration may start publishing. But at this point of time, they stopped publishing from 2017.
Okay. Last question is regarding the visa ban that happened recently, right? So because of that, for 2022 fiscal year, I mean this coming October, there should be a spillover from family to just like what happened last year, right?
You're right. You're right. It's automatic. It's automatic.
Okay.
Unless it goes through the Congress, Congress is not doing anything nowadays. They just get elected. They go there, and they go to the speeches, and they come out. They don't pass anything. They don't pass, yes or no, they don't pass anything. So unless Congress acts on it, the family preference categories, unused categories will have to be given to the employment base. It is not the Trump administration that gave you the green card, guys. He didn't wanted you to get the green card. He didn't wanted you to file the downgrade application. He didn't have an option. He has to allow you to file that thing. So now with COVID in there, especially, and the travel ban, we may expect more number of green cards to be coming in 2022. That is starting in October 1st of 2021. We will be expecting more green cards coming in. But never forget that. Never forget that. The current administration thinks that immigrants are undesirable. So we need to consider what the previous caller has said. try to sue the USCIS. Otherwise, they will not adjudicate these applications. And unfortunately, if they don't use the 250,000 green cards available right now, they will not be going into the next year. You know where they go to? Trash can. So we need to be alert. I want you to come to the next week, TVASIA, and be alert with this community so that you can, if there is any action required from you, we will request you to take the action. Okay? Thank you very much for your questions. Good questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling in. Rahul, at this point, we're just going to go in for a short commercial break. We'll be right back to answer all of your questions. Thank you.
I fear becoming a second-class citizen.
I fear being attacked for my faith.
I fear for my child's future.
I fear being in debt all my life.
I fear losing my job and my health care.
I fear science and facts will have no place here.
I dream of respect for all.
I dream of combating COVID-19 and climate change.
I dream of restoring America's promise.
I dream the American dream.
Vote for the country of our dreams. Vote 𝗧𝗓𝗏 𝗦𝗛𝗡. TSP Victory is responsible for the contents of this ad.
ఎక్స్చేంజ్ 8,000 రూపాయల బ్యాలెన్స్ మ్యామ్.
ఇవ్వనక్కర్లేదమ్మా, 8,000 మీకే వస్తాయి.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్, మేము కేవలం హాల్మార్క్ 916 గోల్డ్నే అమ్ముతాం. ఇంకా మీకు దొరికింది 100% ఎక్స్చేంజ్ వాల్యూ.
క్వాలిటీ, ఇది మలబార్ ప్రామిస్.
ఇది మా హీరో అల్లుడు కోసం ఫిట్ గా ఉంటుంది.
పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా ఫిట్ అవుతుంది. ఇది మైండ్ డైమండ్, 100% క్వాలిటీ.
సార్, ప్రతి మైండ్ డైమండ్ న్యాచురల్. ఇంకా మేము 28 క్వాలిటీ టెస్ట్లు చేస్తాం.
28 టెస్ట్లా?
ప్రతి డైమండ్ జ్యువెలరీతో పాటు ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ల్యాబ్ సర్టిఫికేట్ కూడా.
కళ్ళు మూసుకుని మీ హీరో కోసం వజ్రాలను తీసుకోండి. ఇది మలబార్ ప్రామిస్.
Where have you been?
I went to vote.
Why bother? One vote doesn't make any difference.
Of course it does. Desi vote just turned Georgia blue.
Yeah, but I don't do politics.
But politics is being done to you. Make your voice heard against openly racist and corrupt people. It's about our children and grandchildren.
You're right. May I ask, who did you vote for?
Democrats, 𝗧𝗓𝗏 and 𝗦𝗛𝗡, of course.
Grandma knows best. TSP Victory is responsible for the contents of this ad.
I fear becoming a second-class citizen.
I fear being attacked for my faith.
I fear for my child's future.
I fear being in debt all my life.
I fear losing my job and my health care.
I fear science and facts will have no place here.
I dream of respect for all.
I dream of combating COVID-19 and climate change.
I dream of restoring America's promise.
I dream the American dream.
Vote for the country of our dreams. Vote 𝗧𝗓𝗏 𝗦𝗛𝗡. TSP Victory is responsible for the contents of this ad.
To our talk show with the experts, Mantham and expert Rahul Reddy Garu. We're here waiting to answer all of your questions. Rahul Garu, let's take our next couple of questions from our YouTube viewers and matter. So this is from Winades. I think question actually, what is your recommended upper limit to wait for receipt notice for the I-485 downgrade filed on October 28th of 2020?
At this point of time, there is no worry for you at all. I'm expecting at least to wait 2 more weeks. That doesn't mean that after 2 weeks you get panicked. I want you to come back to the TVASIA show. We are here live every Sunday. So you can come back and see, follow. Because if you would ask me this question in October 20th, I would have told you that the upper limit to wait is probably 3 weeks from October 28th. But if you would have called me 3 weeks, then I would have said 5 weeks. Then after 5 weeks, it's 9 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, 11 weeks. So right now I'm telling you 2 weeks, but that doesn't mean in 2 weeks, don't panic and don't go busting on your lawyer and your employer. Come back to the show. We will update you more. That's all I can tell. Right now, most of the people who have filed on October 28th have not received. Some have, but not most of them. Some people who have filed on October 26th also did not receive it. Some people who filed on October 28th have received it. They're not going in line at this time. At this point of time, there is nothing to panic, but I would recommend to come back to view us every week, so we will update you what's going on.
Okay, fantastic. So winners, if you're watching this, you know what to do. All right, our next question is from Prashant Madineni. He says, hello, sir. I got my H1 visa this year and need to travel to India in May. Meanwhile, is there any way to get my H1 stamping in Canada instead of India? Please advise.
Third country nationals are allowed normally in Canada and Mexico. However, they are not preferred people though. Right now, US consulates in Canada are only preferring appointments to be given to the constituents of those particular consulates. They are not promoting the third country nationals at this point of time. And also, I want Prashant to be very careful. Even if they are giving appointments, they are canceling these appointments very, very frequently. They're doing it in Canada, they're doing it in Mexico, they're doing it in India. So it's going to be hard for this guy if he has plans to travel though, to get the stamping. I would recommend to wait until things are more clear and the appointments don't get postponed. Then I would want this guy to make a plan. Otherwise, even if he makes a plan though, they may cancel 1 week before, they may just cancel it. So wait until things get better before you make any plans for travel.
Okay, I think that's fair advice, and I'm sure a lot of people will benefit by that, Tandy, because this year I think people are getting more happier because the vaccines are seemingly out and maybe distributed, and they might be making travel plans. So for all of you who are making travel plans, please be careful, like Rahul V said, and make sure you plan ahead and then make your appointments as necessary. So Rahul Garu, let's take our next caller, Andy. And while we're waiting for our next caller, I have this one interesting question. This is from our YouTube viewer, 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗞. He says, is it legal to buy cannabinoid stocks as a non-immigrant visa holder? Will there be an issue in the immigration process?
Absolutely, it's a problem.
Okay.
You cannot, a lot of people are advising you, they are available in the stock market, they are legal in some of the states. Absolutely not legal. It's completely illegal. There are two governments. One is a state government, one is a federal government. According to the federal government, cannabis is not legal. And we face a lot of this problem when we go to the citizenship. They ask these questions. Have you ever been involved in any of these activities? And they are not giving citizenship to the people. And when we're going for the interview for the green card, they're asking these questions. Have you invested in any of the stocks? Have you did any of the weed? They're asking these questions. And that is becoming a major problem. Don't do it. I had a lot of debates on this one. Some of the people are telling, yes, you can. My answer is no, no, no. Don't do it. Cannabis is illegal according to the federal government. I don't know about the state government. Immigration is a federal government issue, not a state government issue. They may create a problem at the time when you get the visa. They may create a problem at the time when you enter into the United States. They may create a problem in getting the green card. They may create a problem in getting the citizenship. They may even add this question out there. Have you ever held the stocks in the cannabis? Have you ever taken the weed? They may ask this question. So be careful. Stay away from these things.
So Sudarshan, you have your answer now. And for anybody else who's looking to invest in stocks in the cannabinoid market, I guess steer clear until you get your green card in place.
No, not green card.
Citizenship, sorry. citizenship in place. But steer clear anyways, that's a better thing to do. All right, let's go to our next caller, Rahul Garu. Sir, area code 303, we're ready for you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
We can.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, for taking my call. So I'm regular. Hello.
Yes, good.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. So, thank you so much, sir, for taking my calls. I'm regular follower of your YouTube and Facebook. So I'm very glad that I connected to you. So yeah, recently, so I changed my visa from O1 to H1, and when I applied for H1,
did you say O1 to H1?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
So when I applied my O1, so my I also applied I-539 for my wife and my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Then after applying I-539, so after a couple of days, I think 15 hours, I think after 15 days, my wife and my kids, both they went to India.
Mm-hmm.
So then my question is that, so do I need to do anything? So, they already they left from USA, right? So the application is in progress. So I got their case number that, I-539.
You can withdraw that. You can withdraw that. You can withdraw that.
So how do I do that? How do I?
You can have your wife write a letter. By this letter, I am withdrawing this I-539 application. That's it. And sign it, and she can scan and email it to you, and you can use that to send it to the USCIS. You don't have to explain why you're doing it.
Okay. So, yeah. So so when so if we don't withdraw, so does it make any problem?
No,
like when
no,
they
it doesn't create any problem.
So right now I'm applying for H4 visa for them, so that's why. Yeah.
It won't create any
India,
problem.
right?
It won't create any problem. You don't want additional duties on USCIS, because when they are asked for the biometrics, and if your wife doesn't get to the biometrics, they will deny an application. It will be there on the record. You don't have to mention it. It'll be there on the record. Something got denied. You just want to avoid that.
Okay.
But will it cause any problem in getting the H4 visa? Will it cause any problem with getting the green card? No, it does not.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. Sir, but if we write, like when we withdraw, just we have to write only, so we need to write the case number, and we are withdrawing our application. That's it. Then you have to send to the same service center
address. That is right, sir. That is right, sir.
Okay.
You don't have to give any explanation. Oh, I went to India. And no explanation is needed.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling in. All right, Rahul Garu, while we take our next caller, let's go to our next YouTube question as well. Sir, can you please mute your line? Please press star 6 to mute your line. Thank you. All right, this question is from Raj T. He says, after moving to EAD, after 180 days after moving to EAD and 180 days of the 485 receipt notice, if I'm unemployed, can I stay in the US on my EAD? So for renewal or extension of the EAD after 1 year, do you need employment?
One thing is that if he is the main applicant and he filed a 485 application, he cannot stay unemployed. If he stays unemployed, his 485 is considered to be automatically denied. So no, he cannot stay unemployed if he's the main applicant. If he's a dependent, it doesn't matter what he does. If he's unemployed, if he's not employed, it doesn't matter. But if he's the main applicant, he has to be employed.
Okay. All right. So that was part one of his question. And then part two was, can a US citizen 2-year child have a YouTube channel with revenue while the alien resident parents are on H1B and 485 EAD?
The question doesn't look right at all. I don't know of any 2-year-old guy who can put up a YouTube channel. So it doesn't look like the 2-year-old is putting it. It looks like somebody else is putting it. It's easy. I am not a medical scientist or something like that, but I do have some experience with the kids they cannot open a YouTube account at 2 years old. So yes, that veil will be pierced and checked into who is actually operating it. Is it a 2-year-old or is it somebody else? And believe me, the people who will come to conclusions are going to be pretty quick saying that, it's not the 2-year-old, it's somebody else. So no, the question doesn't look good at all. If you would say that your child is 20, let's say 19-year-old, and then he has a YouTube channel, he's a US citizen, yeah, that makes sense. 19-year-old can do it, but definitely it doesn't look 2-year-old can do it.
I guess he's probably trying to figure out whether is it okay for them as people on H1B 485 to have a channel on their kid's name then, I guess.
No, the answer is no. If they're having a channel for a hobby though, okay, that's absolutely not a problem. If they're trying to earn income on that channel, it's not allowed. If it's just hobby, you're playing a cricket and you want to put your son's thing on cricket, or you want to just have something, anything where you don't expect anything, any return on the monetary wise. Of course, there is a self-satisfaction, the other things that you have, then it's perfectly okay. But if you're expecting any money back, it is not allowed on the H1B because your work permit does not allow it.
Gotcha. Okay. I think, yeah, he's probably trying to figure that out. So Raj, if you're listening to this, then, I hope you have all your questions answered. So on that note, Rahul Garu, let's go to our next caller, Andy. Sir, area code 361. We're ready for you.
Garu, can you hear me?
Hi, Andy. Yes. We can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hi, Rahul sir. I spoke with you last week on this channel, but there was some miscommunication. Do you mind if I ask the same question?
Sure. Go ahead, sir.
My I-140 was approved with my previous employer consulting company. Priority date is September 2015. And I moved to new employer in this September. But with my old employer also, I have H1B extension approved until August 2023. And with my new employer also, my H1B got approved. In case, if my priority date becomes current by October 2021, can I go back to my previous employer and file for I-485?
Since your H1B is approved with your previous company, it's still valid until 2023. Since your I-140 is still approved and your priority date may not be current today, but hopefully current in October of 2021, yeah, you could go back to your previous employer and file the adjustment of status. If they have not withdrawn, if they have not withdrawn the I-140 and H1B.
Yeah, yes, got it. But my previous employer attorney was saying that since I do have 2 active I-94s now, it will be, if I go back to previous employer without having H1B transfer new one, it will be like, I will out of status. Is it correct?
I do not agree with him. Unless you have traveled outside the country and came back on it, no, I do not agree with him. You can check the I-94 number of the previous companies and the current company. The I-94 number never changes. So you're perfectly allowed to go back to the previous employer. I don't see a problem in it. Sometimes the previous company's lawyers will put a hindrance. The reason is that they are trying to protect the previous company. The way it works in the Labor Department and immigration is that you left the previous company, you joined this company. Let's say 1 year back afterwards, you go back to your previous company. And then you say, hey, I want the salary for the period that you did not work for them. They may be in trouble. They may be in trouble. So normally what I do in this kind of scenarios is I will have the employee sign an affidavit saying that he did work for company B in that period of time and he got the paycheck and he did not work for my client. I have them write an affidavit and put it down there in there so that next time when people like the ex-employees come in and they complain, hey, I want a salary for the time period they didn't work, I can show them the affidavit. So some of the lawyers are a little bit defensive, but I'm also defensive. I would like to get the affidavit signed before I let you join my company.
Okay, sir. Got it. Follow-up question. I see that a couple of people asked the same question. since USA is educating cases slowly.
Every day. Yes.
Yeah. Do you think that still, even if there is spillover because of Trump extended the family ban on immigration, even if there is spillover, do you think that the filing date will move in October 2021?
Well, the filing date of October 2021 will depend on how many spillovers will be there for the period of time from October 1st of 2020 to September 30th of 2021. Even if the Biden administration comes into power, though, he is not going to relax the COVID, though. He did not promise that he would relax the COVID more than what Trump administration did. We already know that. He took a more conservative stand on the COVID, right? We know that.
Yes.
So it's not, when the Biden administration is going to, he's not going to completely open up the consulate, open up the entire border. So yes, there may be a good number of spillovers coming in October 1st of 2021.
Okay, so it does not depend on how they're educating cases now, right?
No, unfortunately not. As I was pointing out, even if there are approximately 250,000 green cards available for this year, if they only adjudicate 50,000 green cards for this year, what will happen to the 200,000 green cards? It goes to the trash. They won't give it to you.
Okay, but
it goes to the trash.
Got it.
So
but still the filing date will move next year.
Yeah, the filing date movements will be based on the spillover for the family-based immigration in 2000, starting from October. Yeah, there's a good chance the filing dates might move into October of 2021.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much for following us.
For calling.
Yep, thank you.
All right, let's go to our next caller, Andy. But in the meantime, let's take another question on YouTube. This is from Murli D. If the FAD becomes...
Yes, hello.
Sir, can you please hold on for 1 second? Please press *6 to mute your line. We'll be right back with you. So the question says, if the FAD becomes current for EB3, but if my downgrade application is still pending approval, will my kid's age get locked? Will USCIS consider a past visa bulletin once the downgrade I-140 is approved?
It's going to be a tough question for me. I may have to think about it. The reason is that for the child's age to be frozen, though, the I-140 may have to be approved, though. If the I-140 is not approved, the child's age may not be frozen. But I may have to recheck it on this one. Okay. This question never came up, but next week I will answer this question, though.
All right, Murli Garu, if you're watching this, then please know that we'll definitely come back and revisit this question next week for you. All right, thank you. And sir, caller area code 551, we're ready for you now.
Hey, good evening, Rahul Garu. Thank you for having me here. Thank you, Nitya Garu and TV Asia for the service. We really appreciate, most of the people are getting benefited with this show. Thank you for that. My question is, my daughter is, crossing 21 by 2022 August. So what is the appropriate time to start, for me to start, converting her from H4 to student visa?
Is she in adjustment of status right now, or is she not?
No.
It's just I would want to start now. She's in the college right now, is that right?
Yes, sir. That is correct. Yeah, she is into the second year of her college.
I would want you to start right now.
Right now. Oh, okay. Yeah.
There are other things that may pop up. Is that it's taking approximately 18 to 20 months to get these things approved, and 18 months seems to be appropriate right now. So yes, I want you to start right now. And then if by any chance the F1 is not approved 2 months or 3 months before, I would recommend to contact a lawyer. But right now, I would do the F1 right now without any wait.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks for that. And one more thing, do she need to go back to India for stamping to convert that, or it's fine to be here?
No. The whole purpose is that for her to not to go to India that's the reason I told you to do it right now. If she were to go for stamping in India, you don't have to do right now. That's not a proper process under the conditions your daughter is filing a change of status within United States without going out for the stamping would be in your daughter's best interest.
Perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the information.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for calling in. All right, Rahul Garu, while we take our next caller, let's quickly jump back to our questions on YouTube. This is from Balakrishna. Are we going to get additional 100,000 green card for the family-based spillover in October 2021 due to the visa ban extended till March?
The visa ban, there is a good chance, even if the visa ban is taken off though, there's a good chance that a good number of green cards will be spillover from the family-based, unless some drastic actions are taken by the new administration. Based on the history of the kind of proposals Biden administration did, he's not going to be aggressively opening the offices and opening the borders. At least in the elections, he said that he's going to be more conservative. So there is, we are expecting some spillover. Whether it's going to be 100,000 or something, we have to see.
All right. Okay. On that note, let's take our next caller. Hello.
Hello, Andy. Happy New Year to you both.
Thank you, sir.
నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే నా వైఫ్ ఇప్పుడు H4 మీద మాస్టర్స్ చేస్తుంది అండ్ షీల్ బి గ్రాడ్యుయేటింగ్ ఇన్ నెక్స్ట్ స్ప్రింగ్ అన్నమాట 20 అదే ఈ స్ప్రింగ్ లో. సో నేను మొన్న అక్టోబర్లో EB3 ఇండియా 2012 ఫైల్ చేస్తే నాకు మొన్న లాస్ట్ వీక్ EAD AP new card produced అని వచ్చింది surprisingly. But H4 EAD has been pending for over 7 months now. And నా క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే సో తను F1 కి కన్వర్ట్ అవ్వాలా if she wants to work or she can ఏం చేస్తే బెటర్ అని.
Okay. One thing, did you got your I-140 premium processing upgraded?
అది లేదండి, అది అసలు నాకు నెంబర్ కూడా తెలియదు ఇంకా.
What? Okay, how did you get the EAD AP receipt number without the I-140 receipt number?
EMA అని ఉంది కదా, USCIS చార్టర్.
Right.
దాంట్లో నా ఏ నెంబర్, డేట్ ఆఫ్ బర్త్ అంతా ఇస్తే వాళ్ళు నెంబర్ ఇచ్చారు. సో అది ట్రాక్ చేస్తే లాస్ట్ వీక్ న్యూ కార్డ్ బీయింగ్ ప్రొడ్యూస్డ్ అని వచ్చింది.
I am not going to believe in EMA though. What you discussed with EMA, I don't believe in the robot.
లేదండి, నాకు రిసీట్ కూడా వచ్చింది మెయిల్ లో. సో అదే స్టేటస్.
Wait. If you got a receipt notice, why are you chatting with EMA?
దానికన్నా ముందు
okay. So let's step back. So you got the receipt notice for the 485, you got the receipt notice for the 765, you got the receipt notice for I-131, and you don't know whether you got a receipt notice for I-140.
I-140 employer ది కదా అది.
So you didn't answer my question. So you don't know whether you got it or not. But
no, my status has been updated online. When I check the status, new card being produced ani I-765.
No, we are speaking about I-140. Check with your lawyer. He can track it if they receive the I-140 receipt number. Do the premium processing of the I-140.
Okay.
And once the I-140 premium processing, I-140 is approved, you could consider getting married to this application. Have your wife and you married to this application. And you know what a marriage to this application is, right?
Correct, sir. మీరు చెప్పారు అది. అంటే అది.
So now first get the first work on the I-140 approval, please. You are discussing with EMA, you're discussing with all these things. Discuss with your employer, file an I-140 premium processing. Then, if I were you, I would get married to this application.
Okay, sir. ఇంకో క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు కంట్రీ బయటికి ట్రావెల్ చేయొచ్చు సార్, అది చేసి can we
use you said that, you can use the AP. You would be considered to be married, but I don't want you to get married to this application until your I-140 is approved.
Okay.
Work on the I-140.
అది ఇంకా తెలియదు అది హాలిడేస్ ఉన్నాయి కదా కన్సల్ట్ చేయాలి.
So if you lose a ring in the dark, you do not search in the light. You go to the dark, you search there, okay? Wait, tomorrow is not a holiday.
Sir.
You can check with them.
Correct, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir, for the service. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, Andy.
Yeah, one thing, Nitya Garu, that a lot of people are a bit hesitant. This gentleman is very good in getting married. If the I-140 is approved, though, I would not hesitate getting married to this application. People are hesitant.
Yeah.
They can. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's most probably they'll be in a better shape in getting married to this application.
Yeah, I did that back in the day and that worked out.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, Rahul Garu, we'll take one last question from YouTube, and let's see. This is from 𝗬𝗧𝗪 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗛. It says, how long is it taking to get the H1B receipt notice, and what is the fastest way to get H4 EAD with the H1 renewal if you're eligible for Dropbox in India?
Okay. First thing is that H1 receipt notice might take a couple of months right now. And he's telling about the drop boxes, right? H4 drop box. What we're noticing is that when people are trying to book an appointment online, though, the availability is not there for Dropbox. What you guys need to do is that you have to keep checking, and there will be a line open at that point of time. You need to book those things. And you can book so that's the best way of doing it. If you just check it one time and you don't see the availability, don't panic. Keep checking every day, and then you will get a slot there.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Rahul Garu. On that note, let's take a caller. Hello, sir. Area code 571.
Hello, Andy.
Hello, Andy.
Yes. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Actually, the Trackit-lo కొన్ని recent applications చూసానండి. Like even though 1225 check పంపించినా కూడా కొన్ని cases reject అవుతున్నాయంట. So I filed my application on October 29th and I'm still waiting for the receipts. So I want to know, like, in case if the application gets rejected, even though everything was filed correctly, so I mean, what is my option? Because my priority date is February 2014, so I cannot file based on the January bulletin.
Well, one thing is that court system is still open. You can go to the court and file it through that. We can even complain their own delay in issuing the receipt notice or rejecting the application for us to find out what went wrong. They intentionally are doing it to suffer it. That's one way. You can refile the application if you have done it properly to see. I'm not saying that you're completely, the Trackit system is completely wrong. I have noticed, I've been told, I've seen some of the things that the USCIS are wrongly rejecting. Not a lot of them, but very small, tiny number of them, though. Now, obviously, if my kids gets rejected, I am going bombarding, will put notices everywhere that possibly that I can. That's where Trackit comes in. At this point of time, though, you who filed in October 28th, though, I don't want you to panic on it, okay? Just cool down.
Okay.
Wait, because there is nothing you can do right now either, is right? The date has already passed. If and when it happens, there are corrective methods that you can try to do it, to work it out. But nothing can be done right now. I mean, I do not want you to refile the application right now. You can't go to the court system because there is nothing there for you to go to court system. You cannot refile it because it hasn't come back. So hold on. If you are on October 28th, though, and you have not received the receipt notice, you are one of the 99% of the people who didn't receive it.
Okay. A second question, and second question. Actually, my wife the H4 EAD file చేసాము on November 19th. Receipts వచ్చాయి, but I mean, me the lawsuit is or something.
Yeah, you can drop an email. You can drop an email at info@rnlawgroup.com. There is a litigation division in our office. They will send a response to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome, Andy. Thank you so much, sir, for calling in. Rahul Garu, before we sign off today, there's just like one question that has been coming up again and again, and it's about like parents visiting here on their B2s. And a lot of
Yes.
them, keep filing for an extension. I think it's an I-539. But because of COVID, there's been like delays or, the responses haven't come back and, they end up overstaying their period, like by some have gone as much as about 2 years from, not 2 years, 1 year, I think, from what I've
So
seen.
there are a couple of things, Sandy. People,
Right.
yeah, go ahead. Completely, yeah, sorry.
No, so I guess the question is, what are some of the repercussions to expect, and will they ever be allowed to come back into the US? Because it's a problem on both sides. Yeah, people are not leaving, but they're not leaving because of COVID. Plus, their extensions are not being acknowledged, or an approval is not coming back because of COVID or whatever reason, right?
I want people to, it's a good question, Andy. Everybody who is staying beyond the period of the I-94 should file for extension. If they don't file the extension, it is considered their passport visa is invalid. Let's say if my mom has a 10-year multiple entry visa, when she comes here, normally she's allowed for a period of 6 months. And if she stays 1 day over the I-94 period, 1 day over the I-94 period, and we did not file the B2 extension, the passport visa is invalid. So next time when she tries to come back to United States on the same visa, she will be put in deportation, will be sent back to India. Be careful on that. That's the number one. Number two, precautionary things that people need to take is that before the I-94 expires, you can file a B2 extension. You said a couple of questions. First is the receipt notice is not coming fast. You can do one thing. You can file online, actually, B2 extension. You will get the receipt notice the instant you file the application. Okay? That's one best thing that I suggest. Now, let's say, for example, they came in January 1st of 2020. Let's say the I-94 expires on June 30th of 2020. They could file an extension on June 25th for a period until December 31st of 2020. So if by December 31st of 2020, they don't get the extension approved, they could still file another application before the extension period. Right. So, I mean, I gave a wrong example. Let's say it was July and then they extended until January 31st. If they don't get an extension approved, they can still file the second extension, and the second extension can be filed online. It is absolutely needed that they need to file an extension. If they don't, the passport visa will be considered invalid. Anybody who let their I-94 expire, did not file the extension, or did not file the second extension, their passport visas are considered to be invalid. And if they want to plan to come back into the United States, though, when they go outside the country, they need to apply for the visa back again into B2, even though their passport still on the passport says it's valid. It is not technically valid. They have to still apply for the B2, and then only they can come into the United States.
Okay, that makes sense. But, at least if they get back through that process, there is a possibility that they may be granted another visit visa. Right?
Absolutely. I mean, they understand the COVID situation, that you didn't extend it at the proper timing. They understand that. But, they may not want people to come back immediately because you stayed here for almost 1 year and 4 months. Now you went to India, you want to come back within 1 month. That doesn't sound good. But if you're coming back after a year period of so, they would normally consider the conditions and would allow the visa. Normally, 95% of the time they would allow the visa.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Rahul Garu, because, this is a question that's been looming over a lot of people's heads, especially with their parents visiting and stuff. So I think it helps a lot of our viewers in sort of understanding the dynamics of this. But Rahul Garu, thank you so much. It's good for me to be also back on the show, after break. And it's a
we've been missing
fantastic way to start this new year with this 𝗧𝗪𝗪 episode. Thank you for being on the show, Rahul Garu. We'll see you next week, same time. Folks, for those who didn't get their questions answered today, please call us back or message us on YouTube. We're constantly reading through your comments, and we'll be back next week to answer all of your questions. Rahul Garu, thank you. Viewers, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
ఎక్స్చేంజ్ 8,000 రూపాయల బ్యాలెన్స్ మ్యామ్.
ఇవ్వనక్కర్లేదమ్మా, 8,000 మీకే వస్తాయి.
ఎస్ మ్యామ్, మేము కేవలం హాల్మార్క్ 916 గోల్డ్నే అమ్ముతాం. ఇంకా మీకు దొరికింది 100% ఎక్స్చేంజ్ వాల్యూ.
క్వాలిటీ, ఇది మలబార్ ప్రామిస్.
I fear becoming a second-class citizen.
I fear being attacked for my faith.
I fear for my child's future.
I fear being in debt all my life.
I fear losing my job and my health care.
I fear science and facts will have no place here.
I dream of respect for all.
I dream of combating COVID-19 and climate change.
I dream of restoring America's promise.
I dream the American dream.
Vote for the country of our dreams. Vote 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗏 𝗪𝗧𝗛 TSP Victory is responsible for the contents of this ad.
ఇది మా హీరో అల్లుడు కోసం ఫిట్ గా ఉంటుంది.
పర్ఫెక్ట్ గా ఫిట్ అవుతుంది. ఇది మై
ఒకటి 2 3.
సార్ మీరు ఈ కాలేజీలో బాగా ఫేమస్ అంట కదా సార్? సార్ లవ్ స్టోరీ ఈ కాలేజీలో బాగా ఫేమస్ అని చాలా విన్నాను సార్. ఒక్కసారి మీ లవ్ స్టోరీ చెప్తారా సార్?
అది
సార్ 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 ప్లీజ్ సార్. సార్
మరీ మొబైల్ పెట్టు. ఓకే,
తనని కాలేజీ ఫస్ట్ డే చూసా, టాకింగ్ ట్రైలే వేసా, తన ఫోన్ నంబర్ సంపాదించేసా, హాయ్ హలో వాట్సాప్ లో స్టార్ట్ చేసా. ఫస్ట్ ఇయర్ టాపర్ ని నేను, అది చూసి ఇంప్రెస్ అయితాను. తన లుక్కులతో హిట్టింగ్ నన్ను, ఫుల్ ఫీల్ అయ్యి హెల్పింగ్ నేను. సెకండ్ ఇయర్ వచ్చాక హ్యాంగ్ అవుట్ బంకులు, థర్డ్ ఇయర్ వచ్చాక నా ఫీలింగ్ పెరిగేసి మెల్లంగా బ్యాక్లాగులు, నాపై నాకే కంట్రోలు. ఫైనల్ ఇయరులో క్లారిటీ వచ్చి, మంచి రోజు చూసి రెడ్ ఫ్లవర్ ఇచ్చి, ఐ లవ్ యూ ఐ నీడ్ యూ అన్నానే. చిచ్చి నేనట్టా నిన్ను చూడలే, మంచి ఫ్రెండ్ అనుకున్నానే అంటూ ఫ్రెండ్ జోను చేసేసి యుఎస్ చెక్కేస్తే ఇప్పుడు నా పరిస్థితి ఏంటి? అయిందేదో అయింది, ఆపండ్రా. బొక్కెట్టేనే పిల్ల బొక్కెట్టేనే, తుహారా ఎల్లో పులిహారా. బొక్కెట్టేనే పిల్ల బొక్కెట్టేనే, తుహారా బొక్కెట్టేనే పిల్ల బొక్కెట్టేనే. అయిందేదో అయింది, ఆపండ్రా.
ఆ లెవెల్లో ట్రీట్ చేయాలి. మీ పర్సనల్ మీ బాడీ లాంగ్వేజ్ లో కానీ, మీ ఐస్ లో కానీ ఒక డైలాగ్ మీరు చెప్తుంటే యాజ్ ఇఫ్ క్యారెక్టరే చెప్తున్నట్టుంది. అంటే అక్కడెక్కడ వి హావెంట్ సీన్ సత్య, అక్కడ క్యారెక్టర్ అంత సెటిల్ అయినట్టు కనిపించింది. అమేజింగ్ యాక్టింగ్. సో ఇన్ పర్సనల్ లైఫ్, వాట్ ఈస్ ఉమెన్ టు యూ? This brings out another question. I'm sorry.